Face Antiwhitism. This is on page 170, second edition, iteration 2 of Go Free. Facing Antiwhitism is an exercise for developing and deepening the knowledge and skill sets you have acquired by going free. Facing anti-whiteism increases your confidence and breaks your fear of expressing skepticism and disagreement. Moreover, by facing anti-whiteism, you learn to withdraw the, quote, moral authority you have given the regime. So it's an extremely important step to the process, to this practice, this method of going free. It's an extremely important step because over the course of your life, for a great many reasons that I'm not going to articulate, you have given moral authority to the government, to the church, to universities, to your alma mater, to your private school, to the lodge, to etc., to the media, to that box. Well, I guess it's not quite a box anymore, is it? It's sort of still box-ish. The television. Anything comes out of television, so many people think it's the truth, it's real, because it comes out of the TV. It's insane. But you have to withdraw the moral authority. So that means you have to disagree with. That means you have to face the anti-whiteism. See how this works? You have to face it. You have to disagree with it. And there are ways you can do this to build up your confidence and to withdraw that moral authority. You see, this is one of the things that people are there are too many midwits out there whose voices are too loud. They shouldn't be talking. And it would be nice if we lived in a world where somehow everyone would know that someone was a midwit. And as soon as they shared their opinion at variance with brighter opinions, that everybody would just say, shut up, we don't want to hear you speak anymore. But that doesn't happen, especially throughout Western civilization, because we're all reared with this idea that everybody's vote is just as good as anybody else's vote. And that is horse shit. It's total horse shit. And so you see these people who will say, oh no, you have to disagree with the authority, this anti-white oligarchy, these anti-white governments, police forces, etc., military, reservist forces. To disagree with that, you have to go out with some alien flag. You have to go stand out on a street corner. You have to tell them that you are at war with them. You have to burn your country's flag. You have to do these sorts of things so that they have a very good understanding that you are opposed to them. And that is being so dumb. I cannot begin to say how dumb that is. I know a lot of people tell me, don't tell other folks that you're dumb. This is dumb. I mean, I agree with the don't tell other people that they're dumb most of the time. I've done, sometimes midwittery and certainly midget wittery drives me insane. But this idea that you go out and you tell the authority, the people who control whether or not you can be legally killed or effectively killed by put into a cage for the rest of your life. Those people are the ones who are the authority. Those are the ones who are in charge. And to go tell them, hey, come get me. That's essentially what you're saying. Here I am. Come take me out. Is exceedingly inane. And they make this argument, people who will say this, they make this argument, well, if you don't do that, then others won't do it. No one else is going to do it because they're not as dumb as you are. That's why no one else is going to do it. It wouldn't matter how many people got out there with your dumb ass. No one else is going to go out there because they're not as dumb as you. The way that you can withdraw your consent and the way that it will happen is that you withdraw it in your heart so that you actually don't feel You don't need some sort of, I mean, it's really low IQ people that need to, I mean, you see this. I'm not going to get into it to just go on and on about it's like the dumber the person, the more adornment that they need to convince others of X, Y, or Z about them. I mean, it's so obvious. When you withdraw it in your heart, it is real. It's much more real and sure than standing out on a street corner and saying, you reject this government and you're going to burn its flag or whatever other antag thing you're thinking about doing. That's just childish. When you reject it, you withdraw consent, you withdraw obedience in your heart, then that means that you can feign obedience when that monster comes looking. And that means that those around you can do the same. And that means that the monster can't know who is loyal and who isn't. And if you have a moral message that is superior to the one that is propagated by the monster, the anti-white monster in this case, then your message trumps, and eventually fewer and fewer people are loyal to the monster. And then you get to the point where suddenly the monster realizes it is surrounded by those who are fed up with it. And then there's nothing it can do. You have to face anti-whitism to begin to withdraw that moral authority from these entities and then reinvest it in other entities. You have learned to think of the regime as my country, my government, my church, my alma mater, and so forth. You have given it your obedience, faith, love, and loyalty. But the regime is harmful to our people, and therefore you as an individual. You owe it nothing. Obey its laws because the anti-whites will punish and imprison us for the slightest infraction. But when, in your heart, you rescind your obedience, faith, love, and loyalty, when you reorient yourself to white well-being, you and our people benefit in innumerable ways. The internet is an excellent place to face anti-whitism. Your first step is to assume a nickname. Even if your opposition to anti-whitism is already public, a nickname will enable you to more fully express your thoughts and challenge anti-whitism than is possible using your real identity. A nickname will also enable you to build emotional strength and composure. So you're creating an account if you don't have one. I mean, if you're already out there, I mean, I suggest you create another account. You conceal your identity to the best of your ability, especially as you are building up your strength, your resistance to anti-whitism, your understanding of these concepts. But it also enables you, at another angle too, I'm kind of implying here, I didn't want to outright say it, but there are a lot of people in the white sympathetic sphere who've been around online now for a while. They think they know everything and they don't know shit. They don't know shit, right? They're wrong about most things. Right about some things, but wrong about most things. And it would be an ego thing to go out into other chats and then clumsily work with concepts that they haven't used in the past. So it might be beneficial for them to just go ahead and create a new account to practice Go Free with. And they can go into new threads, they can go places, and they can begin to use these concepts, and then they'll see, like Aric and so many others, that holy crap, reorienting myself to the well-being of our people, white well-being, loving my people, using these concepts, suddenly I have all of these ideas that just flood into my head. I planned it that way. You're welcome. I have all these ideas that easily just flow into my head for me to say in any given scenario. I can grab these things out of Go Free and the things we talk about on Going Free, and I can use them in my life. I can use them with myself. I can use them against anti-whites, and then you'll get better. Just like with anything, you've got to do it to get better. Anybody out there did something they never practiced and they're just awesome? I don't know what that might be. Spitting? I don't know. What could you do where you don't practice and you're just awesome? I would think you got to practice. Once you've chosen a nickname, commit to challenging all manifestations of anti-white thoughts, acts, opinions on the internet. Identify frequent and post on video channels, articles, blogs, and forums that address socio-political subjects related to anti-whiteism, both directly and indirectly. Some examples are YouTube content producers who address socio-political subjects. That's kind of obvious. But then bloggers who write movie reviews. Have you ever tried that? Gone over to a movie review place and then tried out the concepts from Going Free? Forums dedicated to parenting. How about that? That would shake up those people. And believe me, they want to know it. They need these concepts. We talk about that white little... I'm going to try not to. I'm so pissed off about it. News websites where authors twist their coverage. Most of us will do that. Identify and face anti-whiteism across a spectrum of opinion. This is important. Listen close. Quote, right-wing writers, presenters are usually not as anti-white as those on the left. But all anti-whiteism threatens white well-being and must be challenged. So wherever it shows up, you show up at a Republican blog and they're over there saying, we don't see color. Well, you better jump in there and help them to understand that they could be colorblind all they want. The predators coming to victimize them, they see color in HD, motherfucker. I mean, they see it. They see color well. You might be a colorblind retardus, but they see color beautifully. Full spectrum. Resolve to identify, frequent, and post several times a week. Again, facing anti-whiteism is like building muscle. You must continually work out to reap the rewards. I think we'll stop there for now, yeah?